What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Turf Therapy. So I've had a pretty rough start out here this season, both in the lawn and garden. And I got some woes, and I'm gonna share them with you here today. I hope you enjoy it. So let's start with the lawn. How about that, right? So for the lawn care woes, I currently have about 3 different winter weeds creeping through my lawn. The Poa Trivialis, all that hard work and effort I put in last year is still here. No surprise there though, we kind of expected that. And then thirdly, I realized that I used this product that was safe for my dogs when it comes to de-icing, but it was terrible for my lawn because it was loaded with urea. And with it being loaded with urea means that I ultimately ended up with a fertilizer burn coming out of dormancy this winter. I know, right? Terrible. Terrible. But we got some fixes for that. And one of them is Aneuw. So I applied Aneuw to the lawn, the entire lawn, blanket application, and that was for the Poa Trivialis. Aneuw is a plant growth regulator. I sprayed it at its max rate, and I used the Jacto PJB-16 because of the regurgitating effect, keeping everything suspended nice and well within the reservoir of the sprayer. So we sprayed that out and that went well. I'm not really seeing the effects to it, but it's possible I pulled the trigger a little too early. Nevertheless, we'll be applying again this coming weekend, the second application. So stay tuned to see how this stuff turns out for me. Now, the next thing I did was I had to address the huge, terrible burn spot that ended up me trying to make sure my pets didn't get, those salt burns on their paws. So the guys over at Yard Mastery sent me 2 products from Johnathan Green. One of them is a blanket seed application. It's very simple. You just rake out the old grass, the dead grass, then you till up the ground, break up the ground nice and easy. Make sure it's at the level that you want it to be. I'm not real mowing, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And then you lay the blanket down, wet it, and tear it to size. The easiest thing I've ever had to do when it comes to a lawn care scenario. And then I took this other product that they have, which is pretty much seed shake in a bag, right? It's already mixed up with everything that you need. It even has a little bit of starter fert in there. And then I put that around the edges of the burn spot so that I can fill in as well. Now, it's been 2 weeks since I applied that, but give the product some time because the spot that it's in my backyard only averages about 4 hours of sun and creeping into about 5 to 6 here in the next few weeks as the sun continues to adjust its position in the sky. I will continue to give you updates on that product, but if you want to go ahead and get your hands on it, I got links in the description below if you're suffering from some ice burns or whatever type of damage coming out of winter dormancy. Johnathan Green is a pretty reputable company, so I expect good things from this product for sure. Now, when it comes to fixing my cool season weeds that I'm dealing with, we're going to spray Dismiss NXT and T-Zone SE. So I'll be spiking my T-Zone SE with a little bit of Dismiss NXT. And yes, I'm going to take a slight color hit, but it's going to be well worth it because I know it will rebound within a week or so, and we'll be right back on schedule to where we're supposed to be. I'm still not quite out of dormancy yet. We still have a little bit of brown in here and there, and I'm dealing with, y'all see that grassy weed? Yeah, that's some Dallas grass. So I do have that's exactly why I have the Dismiss NXT, because Dallas grass has been popping up here and there throughout the entirety of my stay here. So in addition to spraying the lawn with Aneuw, I actually decided to go ahead and try to wake her up on my own accord. And I did that by using the starter fert that Sunniland came out with this year, distributed by Yard Mastery. And the starter fert is a 12-12-12. That's the bag's analysis for its NPK. They call it a starter fert. To me, it's more so like an all-purpose, general purpose, but it definitely goes for a starter fert because it has a nice amount of phosphorus. Now, you guys know I've been deficient in phosphorus since day 1 here. I did the soil test almost 3 years ago, and we all know that soil tests run this for about 2 to 3 years. So I will continue going the way that I've been going when it comes to feeding the lawn. What's really cool about that Sunniland blend though, is that I also got a nice dose of Bionite, which is their micronutrients that they juice right there into the prills. That's pretty cool. It makes it pretty easy for people like you and I. Oh, look, maybe the Aneuw is actually starting to do something. So we got some browning out action right here on this patch of Poa Triv, and I'd like to hope and think that that has something to do with that first application of Aneuw. So it looks like Aneuw might be for you if you're dealing with Poa Triv like me. On the other side, like I said, we just went ahead and re-moistened these. You want to keep them nice and moist throughout their process of germination. But this is what I'm working with back here. These spots got zorched pretty bad when it came to me applying the urea. I got my strawberry patch still back here, but as you can see, based off where the sun is right now, and my pattern goes from here to there, this is the most sun that this area gets throughout any given day. Now I'll be moving my strawberry patch around front this weekend, but these are the things that you have to consider while I'm running this trial on this seed. It's going to take a little longer to germinate than it probably would for you if you were putting it in a full sun type of area. Now when we were talking about these weeds, like I said, that's hairy bittercress right there. Whenever you see that, that is hairy bittercress. I don't have so much to where it's like taking over the lawn, but I see other little weeds that that's another hairy bittercress. I see some plantain creeping in, or dandelion. I see the plantain or dandelion, very similar looking plant. And then I also saw, where did she go? Here we go. I think this is chickweed, I'm not sure. But I got some other weeds in here that I'm pretty sure this little concoction I'm gonna throw together is gonna smoke all this stuff out. I just need I need a blank slate, you know what I mean? I need a clean blank slate to work with so I can really start attacking this thing and going after it. Now, let me show you what's going on in the garden. You guys know that I started my onions well in advance for me to have success, right? And this is why I planted so many onion seeds. I know you guys look like, whoa, that was a lot of onions, but in all actuality, I know that things don't always go as planned, both in the lawn and in the garden. So I overplanted, expecting, but hoping that I wouldn't have any issues, but definitely I wanted to be prepared. So I lost about 30% of my crop of the onion starts that I did. No worries, we got them planted out. I didn't stress about it. So like I said, I lost 30% of my onion crop, but I planted more than I needed. And the ones that I planted out, well, they're doing just fine. I can't complain. I did drop more seeds. They haven't started to germinate yet. So I'm waiting for those to show their heads out here, but they're doing well. They are fattening up, putting on another set of leaves, and they're really liking these very long days. I even got a little bulb action starting to form on this one down there. Not sure if you can see that. Oh, you can see that one good. A little bulb action. Along with the bunching onions that are over here with the garlic. And the garlic, of course, she's doing just fine, and she'll be ready to harvest here in a couple weeks. Now, some of the casualties that we've already had. Sun King Calabrese, yeah, they didn't make it. Long Island Brussels, I went for the Brussels again, but I don't know if this plant's gonna make it. She looks like she got stunted. Now I do have another Calabrese over here, but right through this area, I have high prevailing winds that come through here. This is why I gave up on the peas, because there was so much wind that came through here. And when that wind came through, it just pushed and pulled everything from how it was upright and nice and happy, and it just completely destroyed the plant. So I got about 50% germination on the radishes over there. The carrots have germinated, and I have more in that barrel as well. Not as many have came up, but all in all, I can say that we'll still be eating. Plenty of kohlrabi. The kohlrabi took it all like a champ. I think I got about 18 plants out of here, 3 in each one of these 5-gallon bags. That's another bag, that's another bag, that's another bag, and that's another bag over there. And it looks like I took a casualty in the rear over there when it comes to the kohlrabi, but that's why we don't stop dropping seeds. Prime example of never stop dropping seeds is I got more kohlrabi. It's ready to go. And I got other plants, my plants that are hardening off right now, my tomatoes that should be ready to go in the ground pretty soon. Angel trumpet, Meyer lemons getting reacclimated out here. I got this whole batch of flowers going on. And then last but not least, with the help of the lovely wife, we got some sweet peas in that was sent to me by T-Nog, Aunt Linda over there. I got the first iteration of beets in, which means I'm good to drop more beets. And I'm still in my window, so that's great. I got a couple cool cabbages over here that I'm looking forward to watching grow up nice and pretty. And then this over here is a purple Sicily cauliflower, so I'm looking forward to that. Hardening off other plants underneath this area, and of course, I got some more garlic over here. This is some lavender that overwintered really well. I'm quite impressed. It was pretty neglected. And this sage overwintered as well. And we got a whole bunch of new growth coming in on that, and she's bushing out. But hardening off your plants, never stop dropping seeds, and it'll all buff out. So this weekend, which you'll have to check the next video next week, I'm going to use 2404 Carbon X to finish getting her awake. In addition to the Carbon X, I'm gonna put down this new cool product. It's a granular humic that I think you guys are gonna like, both in the lawn and garden community. So just stick with me, and then the next video, I'll tell you all about it. So the reason why I made this video to show you the lawn and garden woes was to give you a little bit of hope. I see a lot of people out there struggling right now and panicking like, oh, my lawn's not green enough, or oh, this doesn't look the way I want it to look, or I've already taken some casualties in the garden. And I want you to remember this video, this one right here, because in about 2 to 3 weeks, you're gonna be like, that lawn looks like it didn't go through any stress. And I say that to say, anything that you really want, you put some hard work and dedication into it, and it'll buff out. All right, check it out. So we need a little wardrobe change because the sun, she's finally breaking for us. So what we're about to do is spray a full rate of T-Zone SE, and then I spiked it within half a dose of the Dismiss NXT. Now the Dismiss NXT is literally in there to go after those grassy weeds. And then I also threw a little bit of surfactant in there to help everything stick and get to where we need it to be. And this stuff will be rain fast fairly quickly. So let's get this sprayed out and bring this thing to a close, all right? Let's do it. All right guys, so we're all sprayed up. Application has been made. When it comes to applying these things, make sure you're wearing your proper PPE, and then also making sure that you're using a proper tip per the application. I am using that XR tip. I did a video explaining different tips that you kind of want to use. Keep in mind, depending on your application last year, I'll throw an eye to that in the top right corner. That if you want to know more about that, feel free to check it out. Well, that pretty much wraps this episode up, guys. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Turf Therapy, where we're healing lawns and sows. And I'll see you next time for your weekly dose of therapy with Rob.